Years ago, when I would go away, my husband would be like, they've got a sniffle. What do I do? And it has almost forced him to not depend on me so much.
Yes.
And also given him confidence. Because a couple times he's like, well, what if I make the wrong decision? You know what to do. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing 90% of the time. I'm winging this. And he goes, oh, I thought you knew. But me going away has helped the two of us where I'm not as resentful because my husband can leave and go away and he doesn't think twice about it. Now, if I have something planned, I'm like, I'm going, these are my dates. Don't plan anything because you're in charge this weekend.
Welcome to the Marriage and Motherhood Podcast. I'm your host, Michelle Perda. As a marriage coach who's married with 3 kids, I know how much parenthood could change a marriage. If flirting, laughing, and having fun together feels like a thing of the past, then I'm here to teach you that marriage doesn't have to feel so hard with your parents, and your marriage can thrive even when you're in the season of raising kids. Whether you're in a good place in your marriage and you just want to continue growing together, or you're wondering if you even like your spouse anymore, this podcast has something for you. Join me here each week as we dive into what it takes to help your marriage grow, and maybe even do a 180. You'll learn ways to handle conflict better, bring that spark back into your relationship, as well as learn how to improve other areas of your life from my lovely guest experts. Are you ready for the next stage of your life and marriage? Let's dive in. Hello. Welcome back to another episode of the Marriage and Motherhood Podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about something a lot lighter, a lot more fun, and that's momcations, aka mom vacations. Kind of like, when you're combining the words mom and zombie, you get momby. Well, this is way more fun than that. It's mom and vacations. I am super excited to have my new friend here, Jillian McCloskey, talk about momcations because we talk a lot about, how to improve ourselves in our marriage, how to take care of ourselves, but we don't always go into the nitty-gritty of different ways we can go about that. And taking mom vacations is one really fun and exciting way to go about that. So Jillian, first of all, welcome. Hello.
Thank you for having me.
It's a Wednesday, but it feels like a Monday to me.
I said the same thing yesterday. I was like, I know it's Tuesday, but this is the Mondayest Tuesday.
I'm right there with you, just a day behind. But anyway, welcome, Jillian. I'm so happy to have you here. For those who are new to you, can you please tell us where you live, how old your kids are, and what made you want to start Momcation?
Thank you. My name is Jillian McCloskey. I live in the southern part of New Jersey, very close to Philadelphia area. I am the mother to 2 wonderful teenagers. My daughters are Charlotte and Catherine. They just turned 12 and 13. So we're in the whole nother stage of motherhood now. I have been with my husband, Paul, 20 plus years. And I started after a much needed trip that I needed to take when my girls were about 4 and 5. And even though I was organized and even though I had all the systems and all the routines, I was still holding the mental load. And motherhood and marriage is a lot. And even if you have a partner that helps you and all of the tips and tools and tricks, you're still overwhelmed. And I needed to get away for a couple of days before I lost it. And I took my first trip. I did 4 days in Iceland with a friend of mine. And it was the best 4 days I ever spent because I got to check out as being a mom, check out of worrying about what anyone else needed or what needed to be done or if anyone was tired or if they had food they liked. And I could just worry about me and do things again as just a woman, just a human. And I did that first one with my best friend, and we made the deal that every year we were going to try to do this. And we both continued to do our trips, and some were short, and some have been longer, and some are relaxing, and some have been adventures. But finally, after years of so many other moms saying, I wish I could do that. And I would just say, just do it. And they're like, I don't know how. And I was like, okay, if one woman asks, all right. 2 women, okay. 20, 30 of them, you're like, okay, I see a need for a business here, and started Momcations officially in 2024 and have been planning trips for women solo. I've been planning trips for groups of women, girlfriends going, and then now I'm starting to do hosted trips as well.
That is so fun. It's
Surprised the amount of women that it takes them a little cajoling to get them to finally see, you know what? Those couple of days away will do more for you, more for your kids, more for your marriage than anything else you could do.
Yeah. It's one of those things. It's like once you know, and you can't go back.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're in the season of having young kids, I get it. Like you might feel like I can't leave them. They need me. And that feeling is very strong.
And that is exactly where I was before I took my first momcation. I was terrified to leave them because I am the type A mom where everything is organized, everything is planned. We have a routine for everything, which is very good. But then the ringleader leaves, you're afraid the whole circus is going to fall. And I panicked about leaving my husband with my girls for those 4 days, and I set out all their outfits for the entire time. I had pre-made dinners in the fridge. I even had their lunchbox snacks put all set up with the days labeled on them. I had a manifesto written on the fridge of exactly what to do every day. I came home from Iceland. All the clothes were still sitting on their dresser. All the dinners were still in the fridge. Oh, the snacks were all eaten, but everything else he didn't follow. And he's like, we were okay. We figured it out. And I'm like, what did they wear to school? Whatever they want. Okay. And then that eased me the first time. Like, okay, I don't have to control everything. We're not going to be all willy-nilly all year round. But when I leave for a couple of days, they will survive. All of them.
But what's fun is that okay, so I've gone away before and my husband would be like, oh yeah, we just ate pancakes for dinner, right? And I'm like, okay, not exactly my choice for dinner, but I'm sure the kids loved it. And like you said, it's not like it's every single day of the year, right? This could be like their own treat. They're like retreat at home where someone else is in charge and they're like, ooh, this is kind of fun. It's like variety, and it creates a stronger bond with their dad or whoever's taking care of them, right? Either way.
Yeah, it is. And I know my husband always said he struggled for a while with our girls because he's like, I just feel like their dad. I don't feel like they always come to you for everything. They always do. They want mom for everything. And he's like, I don't know if it would be different if we had boys versus girls, but now that they have their alone times when I'm away, now one of the times, I don't even remember where I went, they were probably 8, 9 at this point, they started doing ice cream for dinner and Mario Kart. It was the best experience. My husband's like, I went and picked up 2 tubs of Ben and Jerry's. I've never seen 2 kids happier. They went and they played Mario Kart and ate ice cream. He's like, nothing nutritious happened that day, but we had a ton of fun. They have now still continued that where at least once a month they do their Mario Kart and ice cream nights. And I go and take a bubble bath. And that never would have started if I wasn't away for that to organically happen for them.
Oh my gosh, I love that. And as a kid, you're probably like, oh, this is amazing. I love this. You're the best, Daddy. I think we do need to leave space for that to happen, right? Because I'm like you, I can get pretty type A. I'm like, nope, we got to have nutritious meals with the protein, with the veggies, and all of that. And we have to have variety so that they can get what their body needs. They also need to do exercise and make sure they do this and do that. And it's like, oh, let's create room for freedom and for fun and for controlled irresponsibility, right? Like that makes memories more than like, oh yeah, my mom made sure that I ate vegetables. Like, sure, that creates good future habits, but like when we think about the memories that create like the core memories that we look back on, it's those one-off things that were out of the ordinary, out of the routine. It was just like, oh, this is so cool.
I heard it on a podcast years and years and years ago about the changed perception of an instance in a family. And it was a now adult child talking about her favorite memory was the times that her mother let them have cereal for dinner and they watched cartoons. And she's like, it was my favorite because we got to pick a cereal and everyone picked whatever cereal they wanted and we sat and ate. And the mother was crying hysterically. And she's like, those were the days that I was so overwhelmed and so burnt out that I could not even think about what to make for dinner. So I thought I was copping out by saying, just grab cereal. And it's the exact same thing happened in both memories, but they both remembered it or felt differently about it. And that's kind of the same similarity.
Yeah, no, I mean, at the end, everyone won, right?
Yeah.
The mom got to give herself permission to take it easy because she's overloaded. Yeah. The kids are elated that they get to eat something that's basically dessert for dinner, you know? And so, yeah, I mean, I think that if you haven't taken a momcation before, I'm hoping that this episode will encourage you to do so. But let's dive into like how we define momcation, like what qualifies as a momcation.
Oh, there's so many. So now I personally have learned over doing quite a few of these, 4 days is my sweet spot. It's a long enough time away for you to recharge without being so long away that it is super disruptive. And most places you can get to, especially in today's day and age, relatively easily. Have a couple of days to enjoy yourself and then fly home. I try to time it where I bookend it, especially over like long weekends. So it's taking one less thing off my husband's plate if he doesn't have to worry about too many days of school and that kind of thing. I've also done like overnights in hotels where I'm like, okay, I can't really go anywhere, but I just need a couple of days away, 48 hours. And I've done like a Friday and come home Sunday at a hotel not that far away. I have worked up to a couple of times taking some very long ones. 2 years ago, I did 9 days in Peru with my best friend that I took the original Momcation on. It took us a long time to work up to that one for time, for so many different reasons. It was wonderful, but it also depends on what kind of trip you're looking for as well. Are you wanting to go with one friend or a couple of friends? Are you wanting a big group of girlfriends to go? Or sometimes you want to go away 100% on your own. And a solo trip sometimes is exactly what the soul needs.
Yeah, no, I love that. Okay, so the point is just going away.
Yeah.
Right? Giving yourself that freedom to hit pause on your responsibilities and reclaim yourself as an individual.
Yeah, because even like a couple of moms would sit there and say to me, they're like, well, if I had a weekend, I'll stay at home and I'll relax at home. And I'm like, no, you won't. I'm like, because we all say we're going to do that and we have good intentions. And then we start to sit down and watch a TV show or read a book or do whatever. And then we're looking in the corner of the room saying, oh, I should tidy that up. Or you're looking at the pile of laundry, I should really do that. Or your kids are coming in asking different questions or like, oh, hey, can we go to Target for a thingy? I don't even know what they're looking at now. But you have good intentions of doing it. But if you don't remove yourself from this space, it won't actually happen. So like sometimes it is going to the Holiday Inn that is a couple of towns over. I personally like to pick one that has room service so that I literally don't have to leave the room because you can DoorDash, but DoorDash still only goes to the front of the hotel and you still have to go downstairs and get it. I take a whole bunch of junk food with me. I take some books with me, some magazines. I turn on whatever's on HGTV or the travel channel. I don't leave the room for 48 hours unless they have like an indoor pool or a hot tub or something like that.
Wow. I don't think I've ever done that. I don't think I actually could do that. I'd probably go crazy because I would need to go out. But that sounds so relaxing if
It
that's
is.
like your style of doing things. It's funny that you say, when you're home, even if the kids aren't home, let's say like someone else is taking care of them,
Mhm.
it's still not the same because every room you walk in, you're going to notice something that needs to be done. And you're like, oh, well, I have time because the kids aren't here. I should just take care of that. And, there's a time and a place to be productive.
Yeah.
But if you're taking a momcation, that's
Mhm.
not the time to be productive. It's time for you to relax and
Mhm.
remember who you are. And it's funny, my daughter's in kindergarten now, and her teacher, she's like, oh, yeah, I love to play tennis. And over the summer, I played 7 hours of tennis every day. And I'm like, that is a lot of tennis. And she's like, well, if I go home, then I have to do chores. But if I leave the home, I don't do them. I'm like, that is genius.
Hey, that is a great way to look at it.
So anyway, I just thought that was hilarious. And you remind me of that story when you told me, like, hey, staying home is not the same. Even if you stay holed up in a hotel room,
Mhm.
that's going to be way more rejuvenating than you, quote unquote, resting at home.
Yeah. And that's even like a couple years ago, we did one up to like a glamping site up in Ithaca, New York. And I remember my husband calling to check in at one point, and he video called, and the three of us that were at it were sitting around a huge campfire, all with our hoodie sweatshirts on and reading books. And he's like, this is what you're doing? And we're like, yeah. And he goes, well, are you at least all reading the same book? We're like, no. And he's like, and I'm like, yeah. I'm like, we'll talk every so often, and then we'll decide what we're going to eat, and then we'll interact in different things, and we'll talk about the books we're reading and things like that. And he's like, I don't get it. And I'm like, you don't have to get it. Like sometimes that's all you need. But then trying to wind down, like if I was trying to sit at home and read that same book, I probably would have been interrupted 10 times.
1,000%. And I mean, that's how teenagers hang out now anyway. They're all on their phones sitting next to each other. At least yours is more wholesome.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk about how we can create some courage for those who are struggling to go over that hump of leaving their kids, right? You said it took time for you to go from 4 days to 9 days. So how did you mentally prepare yourself for like the mom guilt, the feeling like, oh my gosh, everything's going to fall apart? Because what you experienced in the beginning is what a lot of moms experience. Like I've experienced it when I left my kids for the first time. I'm like, oh my gosh, are they okay? Feeling like I constantly need to check on them. But now I'm like, okay, bye. Like I'm leaving next month, like in a couple of weeks to go to Mexico City.
Yeah. And that's it. All of it takes time. And it's like every stage of motherhood. You have to kind of go through it and experience it to then get to the other side. Now, the first one I went on, I called and checked multiple times a day. Just to check on them, how everything was going. I FaceTimed them, all of the other stuff. Each trip, it got a little easier. Now, when I go away, you get a text message when I get to my location. You get a check-in halfway through. And then unless there is an emergency or anything else, I will see you when I get home. Because most times they're just calling with stupid crap where they're arguing about something, or God only knows when it comes to this age. So like even when I went to Peru, I texted them when I landed. I did video call them when I was at the top of Machu Picchu because I was like, okay, guys, look at me.
So cool.
And that was exciting. Other than that, I got one text message from my husband. Charlotte broke her braces. Please tell me which orthodontist is hers. And I sent him the contact card. And I'm like, good luck. Uh-huh. But years ago, when I would go away, my husband would be like, they've got a sniffle. What do I do? And it has,
oh my gosh,
it has almost forced him to not depend on me so much.
Yes.
And also given him confidence. Because like a couple times he's like, well, what if I make the wrong decision? You know what to do. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing 90% of the time. I'm winging this. I'm like, we've never done this before. We're new parents. I mean, we've been doing it for years, but each stage is new. I'm like, do you think I know? I'm like, I am Googling half of this crap. Like,
we're just doing our best.
And that's exactly it. And he goes, oh, I thought you knew. I'm like, no, you fake it. Just don't let them see it. Or if they see the fear in you, they will take you down. Mm-hmm. I'm like, but me going away has helped me let go of some of the guilt, which
yes,
mom guilt's always going to be there. Whether it's one thing or another, it's going to be there. But it's also helped the two of us where I'm not as resentful, because my husband can up and leave and go away and he doesn't think twice about it. Where now I'm at that same point where if I have something planned, I'm like, I'm going, these are my dates. Don't plan anything because you're in charge this weekend. Mm-hmm. So it's helped both of those ways. It's also helped me, and it took me a very long time to get to this point, because I kept thinking, if I kept trying harder, or I kept being better organized, or I kept this better routine, or if I added this more tips or this more tricks, then motherhood would get easier. It's never going to get easier. It's only going to continue from one hard to a different hard. So rather than trying to wait for when things are calm, or wait till it gets easier, because it's never going to happen, it was accepting that, you know what, I need a couple days to recharge so I come back ready for the next stage, for the next thing. Because if I'm burnt out and I'm overwhelmed and I am at battery zero, I am not going to give them the mom they need or deserve. So why not take a couple days? Just like I explained this to another mom. If your cell phone's practically dead and you plug it into charge, but you're still using it while you're charging, it's going to take forever for that battery to get to 100. But if you plug it in and leave it alone for a little while, it will be recharged to 100% way quicker. And that's the way I feel about a momcation, where I can try, and I do self-care at home. I take the baths, I meditate, I do all of the things, and they help in the interim. But when I take those few days where I go away and I don't have to worry about school, homework, activities, transportation, foods, packed lunches, anything else, who stole whose leggings this day, I don't have to worry about any of that. I can 100% recharge. And by the time I come home, I'm on my A game and I'm ready to go and take on what I need to take until my battery gets depleted again.
Yeah. I mean, we're just more patient, understanding. We miss them. I think that we often don't give ourselves a chance to miss our kids, because let's be real. Like, yes, we can get resentful of our spouses, but we can also get resentful of our kids, right? Let's be real here. There's no like bullshit here. That's a very real feeling that we can feel towards our kids sometimes, you know? And I think it's really important to take that time for yourself. Even if you're like, there's no way my husband's not ready. Okay, like take baby steps, right? If you're at the point you're like, I've never left my kid for an hour, go leave for 20 minutes, come back and realize, oh, nothing happened. Then work your way out to an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, a day. You know yourself best. So work with what you got. For me, I'm like, I've left my kids for a good 2 weeks before, and I was so excited to do so.
Yeah. And that's,
I love them.
And that's what I say. I love my kids. I love my husband. I love my life. Just because I love it doesn't mean that I don't need a break from it.
That's right.
And it's the same way, like, you may love ice cream or cake or whatever. If you tried to eat it every single day for every single meal, you might not love it as much, and it might do a lot of damage internally, and you need that break to come back so that you can enjoy it again once in a while. It's just trying to find that, I try to say balance, but balance is difficult.
Definitely. Okay, so talk to me about your company, Momcations. So if someone listening is like, okay, you've got me convinced. It's like that reel where, I don't know if you've seen it, right? It's like two women and there's like, you know, those red Solo cups, and one Solo cup has a bottle of wine under it. And it's like, okay, if you can find the cup with the wine under it. We're going to go on a trip together. It's obvious. Like,
Yes.
you know which one it is because the bottle of wine is so much taller than the cup. And so obviously the person picks the one with the wine and then they both celebrate. It's like, yeah. And yeah, I mean, I want you guys to get this level of excitement and this level of willingness to do this for yourself and for your family.
Yeah.
So how does Momcations work? If someone's like, okay, I'm ready, I'm going to contact Jillian. What do they get to experience or do or not do because they're going through you?
So there's a couple of different ways. It all depends if they're wanting to take a solo momcation where it's completely on their own. The other option then is if they have a friend that they want to travel with, whether it be just the two of them, or I've done a group up to 16 women that have gone away. And it kind of started where two started talking and then they talked to a couple and they talked to a couple and it ended up there were 16 of them that all went away. Or what I've noticed more and more is these women that are like, okay, I know I need this and I don't want to go by myself, but I don't have anyone to travel with. And that's where I've started the hosted momcations. So if someone's wanting a solo one or with their group of girlfriends, they can contact me. There's places they can just send me a DM on Instagram or anything, or they can message me through the website. And I kind of go through the process with them to see, okay, well, what kind of style are you looking for? Are you looking for relaxing? Are you wanting a spa? Are you wanting an adventure? Are you wanting to sit on a cruise ship for a week and just take it all in? And we kind of build from there. My hosted ones, I work around my schedule, obvious. And I've started picking out places I've either been to that I think are great cities or places for a shorter time, or I'm also going to start planning a couple of longer ones. So like I have on my books right now, I have a trip to Savannah that's during the book fair then. I have Santa Fe on there. Where else do I have? I'm planning one to Mexico. I'm planning one to Salem, Massachusetts, and Quebec. I'm looking at my big calendar over there. And then I'm planning one to Ireland as well. And all of them I'm trying to keep like smaller, like 12 to 16 women so that they can come in, make friends, there's connections, but it doesn't feel like one of the huge bus tours where you're just a number. And those they can reach out and see if it fits in their schedule. Now, I had another couple of women that wanted to do Savannah, but they couldn't go the weekend I had planned. So they're like, can you plan the exact same trip again, but for a couple of weeks later for our group? I'm like, that is no problem at all. But I do all of the research, the planning, the bookings. I even send like a packing list of things to know. We do payment plans to make things easier because we get it. It's mom life. And sometimes you have to think of the budget of the whole family, not just for your trip. And try to make it as easy as humanly possible for these moms that all they have to do really is pack up and go.
That's amazing. I mean, how many moms have that available to them? It's normally us. It's like, oh, okay, we got to do this thing. Cool. Let me plan, let me look at the weather. Let me look at what restaurants we're going to eat at. How are we getting there? What time should we leave? What's everyone wearing? Da, 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 da. But for you to be able to be like, hey, Jillian, I want to go to this place. These are the dates that I'm free. These are the people I want to go with. This is the vibe that we're trying to go for. And she gives you all of these things, like a full-on itinerary, and just say, pay here. I mean, that's amazing.
And it's one of those, I've traveled a lot, but my bucket list to travel is ever growing. Also know sometimes you want to go to an all-inclusive resort and sit for a couple of days and do nothing. Sometimes you want to go out to the West Coast to the desert and hike a mountain and go soak in a hot spring and do that kind of vibe. Sometimes you want to go to a really cool hip city and see a bunch of art exhibits and see a show, and there's bunches of different options. I know I'd love to do all of them. And then there's some people that are like, I only want to do this kind and this is what I do. So I like to mix it up and give them ideas as well.
That's amazing. Okay, ladies, if you're like, sign me up, I want to be on a vacation sometime in the near future, go check out Jillian. Jillian, where is the best place for people to connect with you?
Probably if on socials, I'd say I'm more on Instagram. I do have a Facebook group as well that I'm trying to get better about. And then all of them have links to my website, and you can see hosted trips coming up there, and you can send me a message through there as well.
Amazing. Thank you so much for being a part of the show, Jillian. I love what you do, and I think it's incredible. And I think that more moms need to go do this for themselves because it is unreal the positive impact it can have on you. And when you come home to your family, you're going to be like a brand new person. Like, just, it makes me think of, back when you have a newborn and you're like, oh my gosh, when am I going to get some sleep? I feel like I'm barely hanging on by a thread. And then they give you that one stretch of sleep and you're like, wow, I have so much energy. It's like that.
Yes.
Okay. And once you get a taste, you're like, ooh, I got to do this on a regular basis, which is what happened to me. Like, it kind of just happened. It wasn't even like by design. A friend wanted to throw a party for herself, and we all went to Vegas, and we're like, this week works for all of us. Let's just go somewhere every single year this time of year. And so, in a couple weeks, I'm going to Mexico City with 7 of my closest girlfriends, and most of us are moms, and we're just going to be us.
Yeah.
And act like we're still in college, but maybe not so much,
Still
the other stuff.
At a reasonable hour every so often.
Right. I know, right? And wear more comfortable shoes. But we're still going to explore. We're still going to have a great time. We're going to have some girl talk and girl time. And it's just going to be so refreshing for the soul and for our, I don't know, just, it's going to be so good. And I'm so excited.
One of the things I noticed a couple of different things. Yes, it was good for me to recharge my battery to go away. It was also good to go away when I've gone away with other moms to almost commiserate together and see, oh, I'm not the only one going through this. Everyone's going through this in some way, shape, or form. And to also like bounce and share ideas off of each other, especially we all have kids, different ranges from infancy up into 20s. And I can say, oh, I'm going through this right now with the girls and blah, blah, blah. And they'll be like, oh, we went through that. And this is something that kind of helped us. Or our one friend who's just starting and she's got an infant and she's like, I'm trying to handle. And we're like, you can just give up trying because right now you're on their schedule. Like, that's it.
That's right.
So that helped also, like the therapeutic relief in it.
Yes.
But it also helped my marriage so much because I was not resentful to him, but also he got to really see what I do on a consistent basis. And so the worst, not worst, but one of the times I was going away and it was for a conference and then I made it longer and turned it into a solo momcation because I'd never been to the city before. And I was down in Birmingham, Alabama. Great time. Well, I didn't know my one daughter was going to have a cheer competition that weekend. So
Who did her hair? That's what I want to know.
Tried to get my daughter, whose hair is down to her butt, up into a high ponytail with He called me from the parking lot. He goes, that was the worst experience of my life. How do you do this every week? This was unbelievable. He's like, I was in tears. She was in tears. Don't ever do this to me again. He goes, but thank God the other cheer moms came and fixed her hair because she came in and it just looked so bad. And it was wonderful that he struggled. But
he tried.
But it was also good because it got him to see one more thing of,
yes,
oh my God, she does all of this. And
it's so many little things.
And that's what I said. It's never the big things. It's the culmination of all the little things just piling and piling and piling to the point where we're like, I'm done.
Yep.
So it's helped him. And like, even when I got home, I flew in late that same night of the cheer competition. And I got in, it was like 10 o'clock and the girls were already in bed and everything else. He's sitting on the sofa. He goes, do not ever make another weekend away when there is a cheer thing. He goes, or she's tough to miss. And I'm like, you did it. And I'm like, at least next time, if this happens again, I will try my best. But if this happens again, the other cheer moms will help you out.
Yes. Community.
And that's it. And it has helped both of us. And it's also now made it where before he's an avid golfer. And if someone was doing a golf trip or there was a golf tournament, he'd sign up without even thinking. He's like, oh, yeah, put me in. And now, since he's been a solo parent for stretches of time, now he'll be like, let me check and see if that works. So even like yesterday, he came home and he's like, there's a golf trip going the first weekend in October. And there's nothing on the Google family calendar. Do you think can I sign up? And I was like, you know what? Yes, you can handle it. I got the girls that weekend. It's fine. So
yeah, it's not about permission. It's about partnership.
Correct.
Right? Like, if we can help it, we should try not to make their lives harder if we can help it, right? And it's that level of consideration that demonstrates respect, love, partnership, and like just baseline friendship, if I'm being honest about it. Like, if we can show people that, hey, you're a factor in my decision making, that means a lot. Even if the outcome doesn't change, it still means a lot. Like my husband and I, we have a shared calendar too. And yeah, we check in with each other also, like, hey, these are the dates that people are proposing. Like, are you good? Like, we have a digital learning day one of those days, which means that the kids are going to be home and they got to do some schoolwork. And I'm like, are you going to be able to handle that? He's like, yeah, I'll figure it out. But, it took time for him to work up that confidence, like you said, because if we look back on how we were raised as girls and how boys are raised, it's very different. We've been taught to nurture and think about everybody and all these little details about everybody, that kind of made us into people pleasers. And then for them, it's like, hey, what are you getting better at? What can you achieve? How are you doing at school? And it's very like laser focused, all about them.
Correct.
Right. And so, yeah, it can be really frustrating where you're like, why don't you think like me? Well, thank goodness they don't think like you, because we can also learn from them in how unapologetic they are about taking care of their own needs and going out for their own hobbies and hanging out with their friends and doing what they need to take care of themselves. And then they can learn from us to consider other people, right? But I think we are together because we complement each other. So continue growing and learning from each other. And give him those opportunities to step up as a partner that you need, because in those times where you're gone, he's likely going to be like so grateful, because he had no idea all these little things that you do. And now he's like, okay. But also it teaches him ways to support you when you guys are both doing the parenting thing together. Because now he thinks of, oh, what do we need to put in the bag? Or what kind of snacks do we need to bring? It just gives him more experience that maybe he didn't have, or maybe you didn't let him have because you just took over.
I know.
And it's a really great thing all around.
It is. And it's one of those, until you start actually doing it, you don't realize how much of effect not doing it did. And it's kind of like you struggle when the kids are little, that you're like, oh, I'll just put on their coat and shoes because it's just easier and faster and we can get out the door, rather than letting them do it themselves, which take forever, but they got there. And yes, you struggle in the middle parts as they're learning, but now, thank God, at least now, they're 12 and 13, and I can say, okay, ladies, it's ready to go. Shoes, let's go. Like, I just had to say, get ready to go. And they know, put on our shoes, get our jackets, grab our bags, like that kind of thing. And same idea where in the beginning, I had to go through so many steps to get my husband prepared for me to leave, where now when I need to go, I'm packing my own bag and I'm like, you guys got this? And they're like, we'll get it. Now, on one of my trips, my one daughter, because I police my daughter's phones, and they have to ask permission to download anything and that kind of thing. And my one daughter texted me. She goes, "I would like to download DoorDash. Can you please approve it? Dad burnt dinner." It was like, no problem.
Absolutely.
And I did. And I appreciated that she's like, she goes, "The house is okay. Dad is not. I will order dinner." And
Dad is not.
I'm like, okay. And I like that she also has learned. And one of the biggest things I've also said, the reason why I do this is to show my daughters that when they get older, if they decide to get married and have children in whatever way, shape, and form they decide, that they see that they live this way and they can ask for help and they can have a partnership. And if they need time away, they are worthy of it and they deserve it without living the burnt out, overwhelmed, mom guilt, stressed life. It took me a very long time to get there. So I'm trying to show them by saying, but also doing, so that they can say, "Oh, well, I saw my mom doing that, so then it's okay if I want the same."
That's right.
And you hope that you lead by example as well.
Yeah. I mean, action over words, right? Like they're watching what we do more than they're listening to what we say. And we know that for a fact, right? Yeah. And I think that it's really important to continue to help motherhood, the experience of motherhood, evolve into something that feels better, right? Yeah. Like if we look at our parents, I would have not wanted to be a mom during that generation. Oh, no. Like that looks awful. I'm so grateful that my mom's like living her best retired life right now. Like they have a calendar with us kids where it just says where they're going all year round. And they're always going somewhere. Like I feel like they're only home for like 2 to 3 weeks at a time. And you know, we joke like, why don't you just sell your house? Like you don't even stay there anymore. But I wish she had done that before. Yeah. You know, because like, I mean, I hate to take it here, but you don't know how long you're going to live.
No.
Right.
And that's another big thing, because I was always terrified of dying and not getting to experience things in life. I'm in my 40s now, and it is shocking to see how many people I know or their spouses that have passed away in their 40s. And you're like, it could be gone in the blink of an eye. And you don't want to sit there and say, I'll wait until this, I'll wait until that, because that point may never come. Or by the time you get to that point, you may be so physically, emotionally, and mentally done that you can't actually do the thing or go to the place or enjoy anything.
That's right. Yeah. So go. Like, even if it means starting off with a family vacation, even if it means starting off with going with your spouse instead of just going on your own, go do something. Yeah. But also get to the point where you're taking your momcation too. Yeah. All right, Jillian, thanks so much for being on the show. Ladies, if you're wanting to connect with Jillian, her information will be in the show notes. So go check her out. Go follow her on Instagram. Go check out her website. Take a peek like, ooh, this vacation looks right up my alley. And go book that vacation, okay? This is your permission to do so, okay? This is not selfish. This is you taking care of yourself, just like how you would want to tell your kids to take care of themselves. This is you showing them that it's okay to do so and that you should do it. Okay. Now, if you know someone that could benefit from listening to this episode, please share this with them. Better yet, tag us in your stories and share that episode on Instagram. And let us know so we can give you a shout out and say thank you. And if you have loved this show, please leave a rating and review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. I would so appreciate that. That's what helps this show grow so that women like you can get the support that they need to improve their journey in motherhood and marriage. And that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll catch you back here on the next episode. Bye. That's it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making it. If you did, please send me a message over on Instagram at Michelle Perda Coaching to let me know what you loved most about it. Hearing from my listeners is my absolute favorite. And if you've been loving this podcast, please leave a rating and review. This will help people like you find the show and get the help they need. Catch you here on the next episode. Bye.